Hey there, and welcome back to the Train of Thought, an educational monster train series where we talk briefly about the roguelike deck builder genre at large. So this is something that's been on my mind a little bit recently. I realize my channel is pretty new in the grand scheme of things, especially compared to some other, monster train YouTube content creators who have been around creating content since before the DLC and for as long as this game has existed. And it's interesting because the type of mentality I have personally towards anything is I want to do the best job at whatever I'm doing and I want to succeed. I want to kind of, however you measure success, I want to kind of keep pushing in that direction. So I've been thinking recently, and I'm constantly always aware of, as a player, first and foremost, what sort of other games would I ever be interested in playing at the level that I play Monster Train? And I've followed some of these other content creators who branch out and try some of the new games that come out in the genre. And honestly, the roguelike deck builder genre feels like it's dying to me. It feels like too many games are following the Slay the Spire, what is the word I'm looking for, archetype too closely. They're following too many of the rules that have been set by Slay the Spire, quote unquote rules at that, because they're not even real rules. They're just made up. The thing is that people know that Slay the Spire was super successful and are trying to capture a fraction of that player base for themselves, essentially draw them away. And the challenge is that whenever you do that, it creates a game that constantly gets compared to other games in the genre. And then all of the Steam reviews and all of the word of mouth for this game is basically boiling down to just go play Slay the Spire. Don't play this thing. It's not as good for X, Y, and Z reasons. And that's how all of them end up. I've looked at a bunch of them at this point, and I followed along with content creators who have made videos about a lot of them. And some of them look genuinely fun, but they follow too closely in Slay the Spire's footsteps because that game worked. And as a result, they don't offer anything new and distinct, and no one is watching them. Creating content for those videos is really pointless. And it's kind of sad because I really love the genre. I love card games in general, but I hate competitive games. So I hate games where I have to play a card game against another person. So obviously this rules out things like Hearthstone or any of the others that have come up, Legends of Runeterra or Gwent or anything like that. I've played some of them in my spare time because they're not bad, but I don't want to make content for them because it's stressful. Also, admittedly, I think the content for those games is pretty saturated at this point with all variant of players. So, if I'm going to do anything with the channel or try anything or explore a different game, I want to actually offer something that I think is unique or interesting so that people actually have a reason to try and watch it. And certainly, I'm not thinking about branching out or whatever. I'm just constantly thinking about what more could I do? What other interesting things are there? And that also comes as a player, right? It's what do I want to play next? Because Monster Train is not going to be supported forever. And even now, I don't know if there's more DLC coming out. Their most recent stream that they put out basically made it sound like the game was on maintenance mode. So, what comes next? I have no idea. Now, obviously, I think Monster Train has some great legs to it. I think it will be valid for content creation for a good long while, even if there is no more DLC. Hopefully, we at least get some balance patches. But I'm always on the lookout for this stuff. So, if any of you all have played other roguelike deck builders in general, let me know what your thoughts on them are. I'm also really interested if there are strategy games that the community is like middling size, is the way I would describe it. I don't want to say huge because I think huge communities tend to be a lot more saturated and there aren't very many niches that you can really carve out and create anything unique or interesting. Whereas I don't want something super small that no one's creating anything for because the whole point is I also want there to be an audience for it. I want there to be people who actually benefit from the things I do. Because certainly, in my opinion, if no one watched these videos, I would very quickly stop making them because why spend time on something no one cares about? Is basically my opinion. Now, fortunately, Monster Train's doing great. The channel is doing exceptional. YouTube tells me I'm doing a great job because there are There are more people watching my videos than are subscribed to the channel, on average, by a lot, actually, and by quite a huge margin, surprisingly. And so the metrics are like, oh, you're doing an excellent job. Congratulations. Keep doing what you're doing. Growth is bound to happen, etc., etc. And I don't want to like rest on laurels or whatever, but yeah, I'm always constantly thinking about what's next for me. And I think my whole shtick, I suppose, is I want to offer educational advice for things, and I want to be really good at whatever I'm playing so that I actually have something and people actually want to listen, right? So I'm just interested in thoughts in general. And that was a little bit more of a discussion than I suppose I expected to get into here, but maybe you all have opinions. And yeah, if not, it's all good. You're here for Monster Train, let's play it. So, just to give you all an update on what we're doing, we are playing an educational series here where I'm just playing with no mods at this point, no content mods anyway, in order to continue my win streak currently. I'm playing 25 runs, and either I win them all or I lose my streak. And the goal is to get to 100. So you can see we are currently on 77. Number 77 was an Endless Bog Chrysalis infused with Kinhost Carapace. Truly a run after my own heart. I love those runs so much. We had, I think it was Sentient. It was Cultivating Sentient. I mean, she didn't really do much. And there were also level 2 spikes in there. The eggs took over the run and it was excellent. We also had Penitent Remains, so every time I played the egg, it was gaining 20 attack. Pretty off the rails, truly. So, good run, very solid. It brings us to, like I said, 77 on the win streak, but 33 in the series. So that's always hype. And today we are moving up to Tethys Gaming. So, every time Tethys comes up, this is the champion I think breaks a lot of streaks for people because she's tough. I think there's an obvious line here that works, but if you're forced to get creative because you're not always shown the obvious line, then things get weird, and it can be very difficult to win because your champion kind of sucks. Whereas at least when you have an okay champion or a champion that gives some direction, you can usually muscle your way through and figure out a line that wins. So yeah, that is what we're working with. I figure I don't need to belabor the point. So as always, like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, and let's dig in. This will be default Stygian, random, 25, no mutators. Yeah, always gotta make sure I did this correct. Yeah, let's kick it. Yeah. All right. Hope you're all doing well today. I'm having a good one. It's actually really early for me. It's only 11:45 p.m. So it's not tomorrow yet, which is shocking. Yeah, my SO went to bed early, so that gave me a little bit more time. I should be able to do multiple episodes today pretty comfortably. You know, as long as this isn't a cursed seed in and of itself. Generally, I think the challenges tend to be pretty mid-rolly overall when you're just playing random stuff. It's pretty unlikely you're going to see, you know, the super high rolls or the super low rolls, but, you know, we'll see what we see. Today we have default Stygian with Exile Melting. It gives us primitive molds. That's pretty hype. You can do some very interesting things with this, including infinites, very easily. We have Pushback Talos, rough, with Curse Fell and Chase Seraph, with Ice Tornado, Wicklash, and Crystalline Seeds as our starter. Truly, it's pretty good. All spell starter, one of the big attack spells, makes our early game pretty comfortable. Conduit's solid here. I would not feel bad if I missed Conduit though, because our start's pretty good. You can do silly things like reforming Tethys, which is not terrible. And then, yeah. Cool. Let me briefly look ahead before I click anything. What do we have? Stygian Banner? Stygian Banner. Okay, and then Melting Banner. So the Stygian Banner on Ring 3 is opposite the Steel Shop. We do have double Steel Shops, which means our next one after that is, yeah, Ring 5. It's actually a pretty good lineup here. Sometimes what happens is you get double Steel Shops in the early game, and because of that RNG, it means you have a very low chance to see a Steel Shop in the next 2 rings. So what often happens is all your Steel Shops are early game, you see none up through Fell. And then you'd see them, 2 after on ring 7 and ring 8. Now, in this case, we do have one on ring 6 and one on ring 5, so we've got a lot of options here, which is good. I think this would be a very fun run if they showed me an offering monument somewhere. I would snap pick it, and then I would just remove cards and play an infinite. We'll see what we see. Oh, volatile gauge. Do have ice tornadoes. I think if there's a way to throw this run, it's by clicking volatile gauge. 1, I don't know if I'm going to have conduit yet, which is always a risk. And 2, even with conduit, it's not good until much later. And this could put a lot of risk on me. Like an early game conduit is very weak, and not being able to play your spells, which is truly the only reason you would even take conduit, it's pretty tough. Combustible wax is potentially interesting. It enables very powerful reform lines here, especially with Wicklash and reforms in my starter. Yeah, sure, I'll take that. Cool. Dark Forge. Okay, so Conduit and Handheld Totem. I think Handheld Totem is the worst path by a lot right now, for 2 reasons. 1, because you really want to play top floor most runs. Trying to muscle her behind in mid-floor or something usually just gets her killed. And the other real problem is that you can't capitalize on the spell weakness very effectively in the late game on the Divinity, because you don't get the turn after Relentless to use a spell. It just automatically goes to your Pyre. So who cares if you stacked 45 plus spell weakness? You never get a chance to use it. And with the way most Stygian spells work, you only hit front enemies or randomly, which means you're pretty unlikely to have a good spell actually connect with the Divinity after you've hit it with enough spell weakness. Also, she kills herself on spikes pretty much everywhere. So I will take Conduit. It is fine. How strong do I feel? Actually, whoa, hold up. So my cats are going crazy. Give me a second. I'm going to pause the recording and be right back. It'll be a flash for you, but it'll be a few minutes for me. So be right back in a second. All right, and we're back. Wow, I don't know if that got picked up on audio, so sorry if it did, but the cats absolutely obliterated one of those standing, unfolding desks, or they're kind of like dinner tables that are small, intended for if you were going to eat at the couch or something. They just knocked one over, and that thing is dead to the world at this point. So that was actually like a 5-minute escapade or something for me to clean it up and get it out of the way, because they are going crazy tonight. But here we are once again, doing okay. So we're back at it. Now the real question is, do I feel comfortable taking this relic? I do have Conduit with Ice Tornadoes, so I can reasonably deal with that back line if I see it. I also can just reform units. I also have Crystalline Seeds. Pretty good. I'm going to click this. I think this is fine. Ho, ho, ho. I mean, it paid off big time. So this is one of the reasons why these hordes are very powerful, but sometimes you're going to see the good stuff, and sometimes you're going to see the bad stuff. We're shown Cuddlebeard, Founding Seal, and First Hell Pact. Now, First Hell Pact is pretty good. Cuddlebeard is pretty good. I could see a shark. I do have 2 Stygian banners guaranteed, though, and a Founding Seal. It's very perspective. It does nothing for me right now, but this is game winning. I will pick Founding Seal at this point. And as long as I don't lose to the early game before I see something that says incant, we're doing fine. Whew, that's exciting. Alright, this is Heaven's Priests. Spikes. Spikes is a bit concerning, though. Tethys just sends herself. I mean, it's actually okay. I can just reform everything. It's kind of weird to say, but yeah, this is fine. I can just reform anything and go crazy. It's fine. Okay. Alright, we'll play Tethys. I'm going to actually give her... How much life does she have? 5? I could just kill her and immediately reform her. Yeah. Send it. Send it, Tethys. Cool. Reform Tethys now. Ooh, we got an upgraded priest here. Alright. Tethys obliterates on middle. Very nice. I can play the Frozen Lands up top, and I can put a Train Steward in the reform pool for next turn by getting it killed on bottom. Good. Cool. I can reform Mr. Train Steward. Play some of this stuff out. And Ice Tornado here. Cool. It's fine. How's this thing looking? I'm threatened by 8 damage by playing up top, huh? I can stop this with 2 Train Stewards, huh? 1, 2, and it kills itself. Cool. Take my ping here. Let this go. Cool. Doesn't look great. I get the burnout here. That's good. Ping, ping, ping. Ice tornado. Cool. Now, show me some reforms. Very good. Can we Tethys, maybe? Oh, that's good. Alright. Mr. Burnout 4 in front. Tethys in back. Excellent job. The reformed Tethys line is surprisingly powerful here because of Combustible Wax. A single reform and she gets 4 turns. It's the only reason I played this in the way that I did. I don't think I would have otherwise. We're very clean into that. Got the money, no damage taken, with trial and 15 shards. Excellent. Too bad there's no Crystallis here. I already have Ice Tornadoes. I'm not picking a third. Titan's Gratitude is fine, but annoying. I don't really want this with Ice Tornadoes already. It's a card I would take if I had no big spells, but because I have 2, it's fine. Energy Siphon is pretty low value here. I think it's a little risky to go into it at this point. It's not bad, but it's also not amazing. I'll skip. It's fine. What do we have? Molten Encasement is really strong. I already have 2 Wicklashes in my deck. I don't want a third. Hallow Drippings is fine if I go heavy reform. That is Burnout 8. I think the Encasement is the best, though, because it means 2 things. It means if I see an Endless on the next shop, it's useful, assuming I miss Shark. And it means I have other value from, like, Multi-Strike or something. So I'll go to the right. What do we see? Incant Armor 2, Quick, and 10. Give me a Siren. Siren of the Sea. Sweet. And a Siren of the Sea with an Incant, gain Armor 2 on it. Don't mind if I do. I have enough money to reroll. Large. Sadly, nothing great here. With that hit, though, I can farm the next Merchant of Steel here. Intrinsic. Anything good here? No. Spell Chain? No. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to chill at this 15 shard level, get nothing from this temple. I just need to tunnel vision a couple steel shops, hopefully see a multi-strike. I would actually take a Draft Infusion here, believe it or not. We basically can't lose the next combat thanks to Incant Gain Armor 4, so I would take a Draft Infusion because of Combustible Wax for multi-strike would be cool, and that would be sufficient here, even if I miss multi-strike normally. There's some good steel shops coming up. We have a lot on this run. Yeah, cool. I can take a holdover pretty well. I don't see an opportunity for it until the Ring 4. I'll probably go there on Ring 4, unless I have the legendary Siren. If I have a multi-strike in this Siren here, I will almost certainly dupe it on Ring 4 and just power up. Okay, we're strong now. We hit what we want. I have enough money with this next combat to re-roll the steel shop. Sweet. Cool. Unit draft with Conduit Infiltrators. We're strong. I definitely take damage for this. I don't kill them fast enough. I only hit twice on the floor. I don't lose here, though. And having another unit is valuable, some kind of an infusion. This is worth it. This is a fair trade. The biggest threat from this is that you take a lot of damage from these clergymen going up 2 floors at once, so they only lose 1 rage. We just play... Wow, what a good set of incants. Already a 13-18 with 8 armor. Awesome. Okay, I will send Ice Tornado here. Alright, we hit it. Good job. That's enough. Those were enough good hits. I could reasonably Wicklash here. I'm guaranteed to see the other one in time. If I Wicklash, it's actually better to put it in front. 5 rounds. Yeah, there's no way that backfires thanks to the way this works out. Now, I could have put that Train Steward in back and saved some damage to the Pyre, I think, but it's fine. It's fine. I don't see a world this fails me. I always draw the Wicklash next turn. Oh, interesting. The 2 turns here actually gives us an extra round. Huh. Fun. Cool. Take it. Alright, Wicklash on the person who wants it. It's pretty good. We're definitely winning this. I took 5 damage, I probably didn't need to. I guess I overestimated the power of the enemies here. I thought I wouldn't have such a good turn of combat here, but ended up being absolutely fine. Okay, fair enough. Took 5, I didn't need to. That was definitely a misprediction. I decided to tank with the Train Steward instead of putting it in its damage into the enemy. I guess I underestimated how strong I was there. So I will take a Crystallis. It is the right card. And you might ask why. 1, it's front enemy. 2, there's no downside, so I don't discard a card at random if I end up going into freezing. 3, the 1 versus 2 cost doesn't really matter here because I'm going hard into Conduit anyway for the Ice Tornadoes. And it's just good. I like the fact that it can hit 2 different units. So that is a good incant. And I will take a draft. I just discussed that draft is a solution to missing Siren of the Seas infusion. Or a good infusion. Yeah, sure. Draft is good. Paraffin Enforcer. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Are you seeing what I'm seeing here? I can do draft into Paraffin Enforcer here, but I also have draft or Paraffin Enforcer into Siren of the Sea. I should probably take this. This is great. I have all of the things I need for this. I have Reforms. I have Wicklashes. Yeah, I should take Paraffin Enforcer here. Yeah, okay. Alright, so we have that. I don't need to go to the right anymore. I'm not really worried about it. We'll go left. Take my Pyre Health. Endless. I'll take Endless Molten Encasement here. That is a survival plan of the ages. There's truly no reason not to do this. Protects everything. Means I didn't really need the Incant Armor too, but the likelihood I see 2 multi-strikes is pretty slim here. So let's look in the caverns next, I believe. I don't need to upgrade anything right now. I could actually do this Paraffin Enforcer into Siren of the Sea, or multi-strike into Siren of the Sea. There's a lot of interesting lines here, right? If I reroll, I can never afford it. I don't need this Incant Armor 2. I'd like to see a multi-strike. Interesting. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go into the caverns first. If they show me an X5, I actually X1 the draft, and I put a draft into both Paraffin Enforcer and Siren of the Sea, and that becomes my floor. Minor refraction, huh? You know the fun thing about minor refraction? It's basically multi-strike. Because now I just dupe this unit and I get more hits on the floor. Right? Yeah. Yeah, I think that's good. Now the only interesting thing is it makes Burnout a little harder to manage because I only have the reform. Well, you know what? Actually, hold up. I can just reform them. Their stats are permanent. If I don't go the Paraffin Enforcer line, so I don't worry about Rage, I just have 4 of these on a floor now. I go to the Hellvent next floor, have 2 of them immediately. I never need space. I then dupe it every time they show it to me. 1, 2, I put a Draft in it. And if it dies, I just primitive mold it. Yeah, that's excellent news. I mean, I lose the armor, of course, but I have stealth, so I don't really care. And at some point, its HP goes out of control. It's too bad it doesn't have multi-strike, but I mean, this is multi-strike, right? Essentially. And no, it'll have multi-strike from the draft. This is perfect. This is perfect. Yeah, minor refraction siren, tiny siren. And now, because of the way that lines up, I'm going to do the draft now into Siren of the Sea, and I don't actually need this Paraffin Enforcer anymore. This was an interesting idea. I think this also wins, but because of the way this panned out, this is great. Burnout 4 start is excellent. It has multi-strike. I'll have 4 of them on the floor. Ooh, buddy. Okay. I actually should remove... Actually, I can just keep this man, right? Anything he hits gets rage? Oh, buddy. What are we talking about? I could give him armor and he could be my tank? No. We're overthinking this. I actually don't need it because Molten Encasement will die. Now, I'm not going to give Molten Encasement a 1 burnout, by the way, because Combustible Wax makes that really annoying. I'm just going to play it and let it die. Cool, we are insanely strong right now. I'm going to dupe it on ring 2 and it's going to be even better. So ring 4. Yeah. Cool, just chill on 40. I don't need anything. This is no longer a Tethys run. She just makes my incant stronger. This is one of the 2 ways that a Tethys with Conduit run can go. 1, you lean hard into big spells. You make them really strong. You dupe them a lot of times. You kill everything with something that does like 600 damage a turn. That's also free. You can do crazy things here like plus 30 and Spell Chain. And the Ice Tornado, you get 2 hits for 1 Ember and is unbelievably strong. And you dupe that 3 times. Cool. That's one way to approach Conduit. The other is you find a line that really wants to incant and you just play a crap ton of spells for free. You know? The other nice thing is, this means that I don't have to worry too much about Pushback Talos at all. Yeah, this is going to be really strong, huh? Like, unbelievably so. I can just actually put the Paraffin Enforcer in front, and if it dies, I don't really care. I'm going to play the Tomb so it explodes down below. Cool. Fun. And she'll go top. Tomb goes in. Burnout into her. We just incant. We clean up a lot. Yeah, sadly, Tethys only hits for 10 here. So, it's okay. So we'll leak 5 here. But I took Pyre Health, so I don't really care all that much. It's fine. Comes in. Incant is good. I'll kill a Train Steward. I'm going to Crystalline Seeds bottom because we got an upgraded Overcharged Apprentice, and I'm expecting that I'm going to need to pump a lot of damage into it. So I think this is good. It also gets some damage into Talos, so this will look even stronger once I can have another one on the floor. Yeah, this is pretty good, huh? We should see another Quick-Lash here. Yeah, absolutely. 9 Burnout is plenty. Crystallis is good. Perfect. Yeah, cool. I can now play this Reform Mold and just get this thing killed. It heals her because of the lifesteal. That's funny. We super win. Great job. Took no damage to any of my units. We're doing 121 by 2 here, which is out of control. Ancient Synergy is a really good spell. I'll take it. There's no reason not to. Actually, Devourer of Death into Molten Encasement is the line here. Yeah. Yeah, that is an excellent plan for backline. I don't need any of these cards. I have my line. What a good run. This is an easy Tethys Gaming run because I have primitive molds. They gave me combustible wax, which means I don't really fear anything dying. I don't fear burnout. And they gave me Founding Seal, which means my incant line is crazy strong. Cool, I like that. I don't need space because of minor refraction. I don't need Ember because of conduit, so just draw me cards. If I hit the Wicklash more times, we'll be in good shape. Is this Malika? Are you kidding me? Is there... It has Endless, so it will never die. Is there ever a world that Siren of the Sea burns out? That is the only reason I would not take this. Now, I don't care if Tethys dies. She can't get purged by the Broken Wheel. The Broken Wheel is incredible because, one, I can use it to kill my Paraffin Enforcer and get rid of him because I don't really need him anymore. It's just going to be Sirens on my floor. Two, it gives me Endless, which means if they burn out, I don't care. Three, Endless units can't be purged here, so my Molten Encasement is safe, which is the only real unit I'm scared of. And I just don't play the Devourer in this case until I can infuse it, so fine. The only problem is if I burn out. Right. So I draw... What is this? I have to think about the burnout turns now and how many cards I'm drawing versus how many cards I'm picking up. So, okay, I did take draw here, which is really important. Yes. Now, I could... Let's think about this for a moment. It starts with Burnout 4. Yes, with Burnout 4, I get 4 turns if I draw it on turn 1. I could draw it on turn 2, thanks to Paraffin Enforcer. Okay, so 4 turns. With 4 turns, I'm seeing all cards in my deck except for what? 3? I draw 6. I draw 6. I could not play the Molten Encasement to draw faster. That's tricky. The interesting thing about this is I feel like I win right now if I just stay the course, but I'm really being baited by 4 free removals here. Right? I'm pretty confident this wins if I just stay the course. If I play all of my Sirens, I have 4 of them on the floor with Tethys because I dupe it 1, 2, 3 times. 4 of them on the floor with Tethys. I just reform them if they die. And I play a Stealth Tomb in front. And we obliterate. The only thing this does is it makes me even stronger. Because it removes Train Stewards. It removes 4 cards, basically, which is excellent. And, you know, the Endless is nice, I suppose. The Endless is kind of a nice... It doesn't really matter because I have reforms. So I actually think saying that, it is a bait to take the bold Broken Wheel, the boldly grabbing a large trinket. It's a really good trinket, but I already win. My run is over. There is a 3 in 27 chance that I lose this run if I pick this Broken Wheel. A 3 in 27. Do I want this power in exchange for an 11% chance to lose? The answer is no. There's no reason to do that. If I had another card, it might be better. If I had the... What is it? If I had the Hallow Drippings that I skipped, right? Or if they had shown me a Waxen Spike or something. Something that extends Burnout further. I should probably take something, but it doesn't matter here, right? It just doesn't matter. I mean, I may as well take the Cloud, at least. The Cloud is easy. It never is a problem. And if it's something dies here, I just reform it. Who cares? Oh no, Tethys died to the thing. Whatever. Yeah, I think this is an interesting one. I think this is a very powerful event if you're feeling weak and you need to get stronger fast, right? If you're saying, oh my gosh, I have 5 Queen Zimplings and 4 Train Stewards, and my run sucks, I need to remove these in order to get an incant line active. So imagine another world. I have dregs, okay? Imagine I have dregs, and I don't go this line with Burnout, for instance, and I have a terrible incant line, and I don't know, they showed me Lodestone Totem or something. This would be a really good run, but a scary one because you don't have a lot of spells. I would snap pick Wheel there because you remove all 5 dregs and all 4 Train Stewards. You're not at risk of burning out, and if your Siren dies at that point, well, you lost anyway, so I will take the Cloud. I don't really care about this. This is low risk. It represents some healing in the worst of cases. Offset spikes on Tethys, I guess. Sure, I will take Cloud. But I am not picking Wheel because I don't think I need to. Cool. All right, and we stay the course. I will go to the right. Yeah, I will go to the right because just give me an additional Siren, please. For 15 shards right now. Cool. I don't need this horde. I'm going to be getting 2 more of these. So with 2 more of these, that's 85 shards. I don't need to take this relic. I could actually take Handheld Totem. No, I'm going all in. I have multiple spells that cost more than 2. Sure, Conduit, get in here. We're powerful. Do not click the Horde. I already have Founding Seal and Combustible Wax. There's basically nothing they could show me here that I want. So, and 55 is already a little spooky. Ooh, the Supernatural. Not really. It's actually fine. Yeah, Spikes I don't really care about. So the only unfortunate thing is there's no Burnout in... I don't have the Devourer of Death infused in Molten Encasement yet. Actually, that's my whole run, right? 25... with Devourer of Death goes to 80, and then I dupe that thing 2 more times, going to 110. Yeah, true. 110 shards is my line. I don't take anything from temples at this point. We're just going to have a ton of Sirens that go mad with power. We're so strong. I don't care. This is fine. This is a risk I also wouldn't be able to take with the other line. Now, we're going to watch. I'm pretty confident. I have an 89% chance of seeing these Wicklashes. Actually, technically a little worse because I duped there, but yeah, it's fine. That's a lot of HP. Send to this Train Steward. Cool. Okay, we saw it. I will take the Crystalline Seeds for money here. I will play the Lady. Oh no, Tethys dies. I don't really care at all. Oh no, goodbye Tethys. Fine, I don't actually need Tethys. Plus I can just bring Tethys back right now. Or not, because I flooded the reform pool. Here, playing Paraffin Enforcer prevents any damage here. Cool. And we'll keep the Train Steward out for now. Minor misplay to send that friend. Right, this lets me play all the cards that I really want to play. Excellent. Tethys does matter here. It's Mold first. For this lad. It's now Wicklash here. And Frozen Lance. We have power to the point where I get past these. Yeah, fine. Thanks for... I mean, we clear this too, which is nice. I'm going to Ice Tornado. We lose a few people, but the Sirens get through it, which is fine. I'll just reform stuff. I'll play the Encasement. It's worth an... I should play the Encasement. It is a correct choice with these backlines existing. I see... Huh. Technically, I do not see anything I want to play here, so I'll play the Encasement. And I will incant twice, I believe is the line here. That is worth it. And I will add Burnout here and get out of here just fine. Cool. Great job, we did it. A little tricky to navigate. I actually think that, of course, would have been fine, but I wouldn't get the Memorial Fund if I had taken the wheel. That's exceptional, I'll take that for sure. Ice Storm is very good, but I'm not taking any plus 30s here. I actually think I'll take Titan's Tooth, potentially. It becomes a one-coster that I really like playing here. Yeah, sure. It's a good spell. Wickless Recruitment is interesting. Subsuming Blade is interesting. I'm going to take Sacred Wicks because it goes away and I like having extra reforms. Yeah, there's a lot of good options here. I'm going to go to the right because removals have a lot of value to me right now. I don't really need upgrades for my spells. I don't need upgrades for my units either, but it's fine. I'll rather remove stuff. Yeah, I'd rather remove stuff because I didn't see the other stuff. The wheel. I didn't go the wheel line. Plus 25. Here's the real question. Am I keeping Paraffin Enforcer? He's good for now. I'm going to remove these Train Stewards. They're not incants. They're annoying. Get out of here. I would like to see some magic shops in this run. Next ring is to the right for the Hellvent for sure. I'll probably go to the Ring 7 magic shop, and then I guess I can make the decision if I want the magic shop there. I'll probably take energy on this run, actually, looking at it a little more. Let's put Devourer into Molten Encasement here. It's really good. Yeah, it's really good. It goes to 80, but I also kind of don't care. Just buy a couple removals. I'm going to remove Train Stewards now. This improves my deck considerably. I don't need anything from this shop. There's no purpose to upgrading the Molten Encasement. Burnout 4 does nothing, even if I had seen it. And I'm going to remove the Paraffin Enforcer at some point. He does nothing into Chased, and yeah, he's kind of just pointless. He's just worse than another Siren in almost all cases, so yeah, fine. Let's go. Cool. Yeah, cool. This will be a pretty straightforward run. I don't think it will be too difficult. Mark of Invasion. I'll take this trade. Yeah, money good. It's like 6 HP at worst. I don't know, it kills something and then I reform it, I guess. Or they give me the Molten Encasement on turn 1. Pretty good, I suppose. It's funny, actually. I can't actually put the Paraffin Enforcer on the floor because I need the space for the tomb. So what is this floor looking like? Tethys Tomb, 3 Sirens. So I only need to dupe one more time, right? So I do that on ring 6, and then on ring 8, I can now go to the Merchant of Magic, which is excellent news. I get 2 of those from some -1s. The -1s are good, because they're going to go into molds, and most importantly, these Wicklashes. Maybe I see a holdover on a Wicklash, which is game-winning. Yeah, okay, cool. I'm not even going to play this Enforcer then. These Sirens are better. I need to actually let my Molten Encasement go, and there's no reason to incant this. I guess I'll get my man killed. Will I? No. I'm actually going to leave him out of the pool because Tethys is going to die. Yeah, okay. Fine. Siren enters the fray. 2 Sirens enter the fray. Yeah, we now clear top floor for sure with Frozen Lance, Frozen Lance. Now, I think I want to play Devourer middle because it gives me money. Or, you know, Molten Encasement. Yeah, this is fine. I lose Tethys, oh well. She's worth 5 gold to me, technically, so that's actually just cool. I'm going to play the Mold. Take Tethys. Put her on the floor. Cool, and that gives me Frozen Lance, Frozen Lance, Frozen Lance. And I'm going to now play Devourer on middle here. He is what, 15 to the floor? They gain 10 to the floor? Or 20 to the floor? He's a net negative here. So I'm going to play him bottom, actually. He clears the floor. Remember, because I can't leave him up top. It's not good. Take this man. Take a lot of reform power here. Is Ice Tornado better? Closer to better. Yeah, I mean, we take a hit for 11 here, and I give up the Whiplash, but it's okay. I kind of expected to leak that guy. I will play the other Whiplash on one of them, the one with more armor. So the one in the back. Just take incants. I will play Devourer front. He kills, and that's a good trade. Oh, it's a lot of reforms on this turn. I have 3 coming up, though. It's okay. Mold. Fine. We lose 1, which is unfortunate. Play this. Play this. Take another hit here. It's close. It's another narrow bit. A 2 HP. Get out of here. Show me a mold, please. Okay, which mold is this? This is the Siren. All right, that's an important hit. We'll put her in the back here. She has no armor. Devourer of Death. Take that. I'll do an incant. We'll be fine here. We have the Stealth Tomb and Tethys, technically. Yeah, so the Stealth Tomb changes everything about this. Great news. Okay, so energy for sure here, because lacking energy is tough. Yeah, energy for sure. I don't need Frenzied Swarm, I have Stealth, it's fine. Glacial Seal, get out of here, even though it's incant for Founding Seal. Ice Storm does nothing. There's no reason to take Ice Storm, right? Yeah, there's no reason to take Ice Storm. I'm not taking a plus 30 if they show it to me. Votivary is fun, but there's no reason to. I will click Resin Removal, actually. It's really strong. For a lot of reasons. Yeah. Okay, fine. We now get the healing, which makes this a little bit cleaner. I think I actually took one of those 11s strictly because of the cloud. Was it worth it? I think it's fine. We're at such high life. This will offset some early bad turns. We go to the right here, for sure. See the Horde. Drop Cage. I skipped a Siren Song, like a fool. That's fine. That's fine. Forgotten Name, I'm playing enough spells. Why not? Yeah, I'll make them stronger. I'm going to remove Paraffin Enforcer here. Your services are no longer required. I will now also be removing Frozen Lance? I mean, it is a 0-cost incant. It's not that bad, right? I don't know what I want to remove there. That's weird. Duping. Siren of the Sea. Yeah, 3 of them is strong. What do I remove? I think it is a Frozen Lance. I would rather be... It's actually a primitive mold, right? It costs 1 the whole time. I only need so many. I did take a Sacred Wicks for this purpose. Yeah, okay, I'll remove a mold. I need to be careful not to remove too many. Do not take the money. 95 into Fel is already pretty spooky. Now, fortunately, I think I've said spooky twice in this run. I need to be a little better about that. Fortunately, I do need to play Devourer. Oh, turn 1. Great news. I must play Tethys and Draft, so I take this Penance, sadly. That's kind of inevitable. Really unfortunate it got upgraded. Wow, 2 upgrades here. Really bad. I'm going to take some damage for sure now. Yeah, I need Ember very badly. I'm going to play this bottom because I have to. I think I missed the Whiplash again, too. This is unfortunate. I might get chewed up because of the way these 2 Absolvers upgraded. Right? This is a big turn of damage taken, yeah. 3rd Siren in action. What am I playing? I think I actually skip this so I can play this Whiplash, because if I don't, it's the end times, and I have to play Molten Encasement. Here's the real question. Yeah, this is an Ember run, by the way. I could play this bottom, Stomp a Curse. I think I need to. And then I just accept 6 and 11 damage here. Good lord. Yeah, okay. We'll play at bottom. Thank you, Devourer of Death, for existing. We're actually not in a great position here because of this. Okay, finally, at long last, a turn where I can reasonably incant and not lose. Okay, it's not an upgraded Absolver. Praise be. We clear it. I take an incant. I clear out a stupid Weight of Contrition, and I play the resin removal to remove sap and the spell shield here. I'm going to hold the Sacred Wicks because inevitably one of my dudes will be dying in the next 2 turns. It's a pretty good turn, though. Okay, we did it. There are no Absolvers on the field. So now it's Frozen Lance, Frozen Lance, Frozen Lance. And now I can play Penance, Devour up top, start getting some stealth in. Okay, we actually killed it. Good job. Okay, we play Devour bottom, clearing that. I reform first. It will take some hits. That'll be okay. I have redraws coming up. Take the Crystalline Seeds here. I don't need this third one, and I can't really support this third one until after Fell. So I'm going to Crystalline Seeds and just take an Ice Tornado here instead and prevent that damage. Just better. Okay. Gross turn. I take another 10 damage because I have to play Devourer of Death. It's a good incant turn, though. Gross. Gross. It's a good thing I had so much life. Ugh. Alright, we're into this now. I will take stealth where I can get it. This does not kill him. Good. Take my Weight of Contrition here, and I will mold. I see both Wicklashes next couple turns. If I see one next turn, we're in a good state. Ah, good. Molten Encasement in play. Wicklash in play. Incant. Take the Sacred Wicks here. And then I will take another 5. Cool. Molten Encasement. Back one, buffs up. Weight of Contrition. Yikes. Those curses hurt us a lot. This was definitely a more scary combat than I respected. I think I knew this was going to be tough, but I think I underestimated it. There's a reason I went to take this infusion when I did, because it did kill a lot of those Absolvers, and it got us to the point where we weren't losing. The scariest thing, though, is that I wasn't able to draw fast enough, and I took a ton of curse damage. All of my damage was from curses here. Let's look at how much this damage was, because it was a lot. Yeah, it's a big number. It's like 30-something. Yeah, 34. Okay. Great news. I will take an Ancient Synergy. At this point, it's very powerful. I skipped it before for the Devourer of Death because that was a correct choice, but now I would like another spell that kills an enemy. Okay. And now I must take Ember. There's no doubt in my mind it's Ember here. Okay, and now we go to 2 magic shops, make stuff free, maybe find a holdover, and this run hopefully feels a lot better overall. Sketches. Is Sketches good? 1, 2, 3, 4? No. No, it's not. No, it's not, because if my Molten Encasement ends up in the back, I just lose. Yeah, okay, we'll take the Worn Grindstone then. It's fine. It's not exciting, but it's fine. I will upgrade her to Conduit 3 here. For sure. Yeah. Give me a holdover. No, it's fine. I'll take a -1 into something I have to play every time, so Wicklash. I will Permafrost the Sacred Wicks here, I think. You think I'm kidding, but this is really good for emergency reforms. It's not a card I want to play whenever I see it. It's a card I want to play at a very specific point in time. And these +10s are fine, right? I'll play them. I'll take a Titan's Tooth up to 15. I think that's good. The alternative is Crystallis. I don't think so. It's fine. Yeah, cool. Reroll it, buy everything. Double stack. It's pretty good. Well, yeah, sadly the double stack only adds 2. It doesn't add 5. I wish. Take a -1 into the other Wicklash here. These are cards I want to play every time I see them. And I will consume a Frozen Lance. It's fine. Cool. Good magic shot. Show me something good in the caverns. Nexus Spike. I could purge a card. What would I purge if I had the opportunity to? What would I Nexus Spike? Actually, just a double Wicklash Nexus Spike, right? Yeah, absolutely. Nexus Spike. Wicklash. Wicklash. Look at this card. I realize it costs 2, but that's excellent. That is Burnout 10. I'll take Burnout 10. You also know it's weird. Look at this card. It actually says Burnout 5 on it. This is the only thing where a tooltip actually respects the combustible wax, right? Because if you looked at, I don't have it to show you, but if I looked at the Paraffin Enforcer infusion, it would show 2. Cool. And I don't need anything here. Spell Chain? I mean, Spell Chain's pretty okay. Spell Chain, Wicklash, pretty good actually. Is this worth an extra 15? Probably. Piercing? The tough thing is that I can only play these expensive spells on Tethys' floor, so I can't prospectively play them lower, right? That just doesn't work. Piercing also doesn't matter. These spells are just incants for my Sirens to go mad with power off of, so I don't think the Piercing matters. But Spell Chain on a Wicklash is really good. For 1 Ember, I get 20 attack and 10 burnout. Yeah, now we're cooking with gas. I will go up to 110 off of that. Because I'm going to the magic shop now. I've decided against duping again. 3 is enough. I can sustain 3 at this point. 4 is too many. Plus I don't have the space for it and I need an Ember. Yeah, this is good. Alright, let's move on. 110 into ring 7 is a lot. It's usually 20 more than I like. Mark of Invasion's an interesting situation to be in. There are draws where this is bad. Quite bad, in fact. And it just trades 30 Pyre Health. I actually value my Pyre Health more than the money here, so I'm going to skip this. I think I reasonably could. There are enough draws where it's fine. It actually would not have been one of them. I would kill one, and then the others would have blasted a Siren, huh? Interesting, yeah. Incant. Hold on to that Sacred Wicks for a bad turn. Cool. Siren of the Sea enters the fray. We incant a lot. I will boost the front one, because, well, the back one, the middle one. It has armor and stuff. I want to play this Devourer where I can actually get value from it, because it never dies on its own. Maybe they could show me Encased Ember, and I would feel pretty good. Also, you know, I'm just going to get money off of Memorial Fund here. Yeah, what a really good turn to draw all this crap. We ramped very quickly there. It's nice when you've removed a whole bunch of stuff from your deck. You're able to clear things out pretty consistently. Yeah, we just lose one straight up here. Fair enough. Cool. It's a lot of incanting though. Losing the 50 armor a little sucks, but it is 5 gold, I guess. Cool. Devourer. Wicklash. Seeing both of these big cards, Wicklash with Spell Chain and the Wicklash from Nexus Spike. Let's see, I will of course... Look how this cascades. You kill the front one, it kills the Molten Encasement, which kills the other ones. That's pretty cool. That's a fun line, right? Yeah, I don't need anything from these. Yeah, okay, I'll just play both of these enhanced spells, right? Play the big one into the back. Very good. And I'll play this other one in the front. Cool. I know I did pass up the reform, but I would rather have played those. Just play spells, do big damages. Do this, play our friend. I could just reform this thing. Should I? It's a little late now. Why not? Get in there, honey. You're doing great. Why not? Why not? Devourer has to go bottom here in order to hold it over. Frozen Lance. Let's extend the life front one a little bit. Spell chain, sure, why not? Keep going. We're very powerful. It's nice for 5 gold. Hey, look, we win. I can just incant to my heart's content here. Don't really care. We kill in 1 round now. That's kind of, or in 2 rounds. That's kind of what I was hoping to see if I could get to. We're very powerful. We're doing a lot of damage on this floor. A lot of damage on this floor. And it's spread over a lot of hits, which I like. Preserve is one of the few interesting spells I would take here. It holds a molded, or a primitive mold rather. It's free incant. Yeah, I'll take a Preserve. It's one of the few cards I would have grabbed. I don't need these. Sacred Wicks number 2? Nah. Wicked Blaze? Nah. Votivary? Hell no. It's not a spell. Cool. We go left. More -1s for the fire, and more health for the pyre. Wow, that rhymed and I didn't even mean it to. The removals will be tricky. I think it's just going to be Frozen Lances, probably, but what you got for me? Faulty Loader, Trader's Quill, Icicle Fracture? Nah, reroll it. The Flicker's Liquor is fun. Play a unit, make another spell free. Fade's First Blade is also fun, but we're in a chase, so I don't really care that much. Let's buy the Magic Shop stuff first, because this is the most important thing. Alright. Nexus Spike, go to 1. You need to be easier to play. +10? Sure. Helical Crystallis, you deserve it. Double stack? Nah. Nah, it's fine. Another Permafrost. Now, sad, but it's okay. I don't need this one, though, because I have Preserve. So I'll take a -1 into a molded here. A primitive mold, rather. Now, it's important, because if I'd seen a remove consume, I would put it into Nexus Spike here, but I didn't. So instead, I'll put a -1 in a mold, so I can just play it for free. The freeze does not get used. I put a +10 into a tornado, so it's a little better. These little bumps matter. This kills a purifier. That's elite. Sure. I remove 2 unplayable cards. If we remove down enough, then I actually have no fear about hitting a, what's it called? A Wicklash in time, right? With that combat, we got to a number that was really good, so removals are high value. I don't see anything from these +30. I was going to take another spell chain if they showed it to me, but they didn't. Flicker's Liquor? It's good. It is good. I am playing a unit every turn. And it makes the turns where I draw multiple Sirens much stronger. I should probably buy this. I think it smooths this run out a little bit. It's never Fade's First Blade. This extra damage is basically irrelevant. It's, what, 6 damage a turn? Okay, great. It completely gets negated by Chased, who's already going to be bodying my stealth, but it's not going to really matter. I have so much HP that whatever. Yeah, this is not worth 240 to me. It's only going to be value on the Divinity, but I will ramp fast enough on the Divinity, I promise. I will pick Flicker's Liquor. I think I'm just going to buy a removal here. 2 removals. Now, most important ones are probably Frozen Lances. They're free, but they're bad. Let's see, 3 molds cost Ember. Everything else is free. I actually think a mold is better because of emergency reforms, right? Having some molds is good. I think there's a density question here. And the density of Frozen Lances I need is not that high. Yeah, we'll just remove another Frozen Lance here. I think this is good. I will buy another removal. I get, what is this, 120, 180? I'm 50 gold off. This is not gold in the middle, right? Yeah, fair enough. Okay, so I buy a removal here. This one. Hold up, I can actually just buy this Permafrost. So I'm going to Permafrost one of the expensive molds then. Or I could permafrost resin removal. Yeah, this is actually better. Yep, because on turns where I want to play it, it will remove bad stuff. So spell shield if it matters, or spikes if it matters. Yeah, it's great news. So I buy that, and then I spend my 120 into removals. Now, is 4 primitive molds too dense? Probably. I actually think 2 frozen lances are fine because they're free. I have the frozen sacred wicks for emergencies. Yeah, I'm gonna kill a primitive mold here. This is a density question, and it's a matter of, is 3 too many of these? Is 4 too many of these? And when you're thinking about your redraws, it's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, kind of, if I'm playing them. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, if I don't play it. 13, 14. So I draw my whole deck in 2 rounds, basically. Which is fine. Brief moment of consideration for any of these. Are any of these worth the 10? Well, Titan's Tooth. The problem is, like, I already clear. If they're on my floor, I already clear this. I can resin removal the spell shield and just blast them for free, but I can't play 3 Ember card cost off floor. I can't do it. And the only curses are the last wave before the Relentless combat, and if I got there on Relentless for Divinity, it's fine. So this is pointless. The plus 30 it's okay. It's okay. I don't really feel like I need this. Do I ramp fast enough? I mean, I might as well take this, right? Ancient Synergy's already strong enough. It's doing 100 and something. Put it into an Ice Tornado, I guess. This is an interesting one. I could just take these, and it does not really matter. It really does not matter, right? Which is really bizarre to me, but I think I'm strong enough either way. Am I scared of Chased at all? Not really. We should ramp to a sufficient point fast enough, so I'll take these. There's no reason not to, basically. In which case, I want to spread the upgrades around so that they feel a little more compelling. Piercing into Ancient Synergy is nice. Is it? Huh. I don't actually know. Where would I put these? Titan's Tooth is doing enough. I don't think this really matters all that much. It's doing 25 to backlines right now, which is plenty. Kills all upgraded light wings. The only thing it misses is a purifier, but there's, what, 1 possible purifier spawn in the rest of the run? I don't love Ice Tornadoes because they're basically just free incants. What's going to happen is you play this and all of it fires into the Divinity and you go, well, that was a useless spell. So putting upgrades in this is pretty low value to me. The only reason they haven't gotten removed is because they're permafrosted, and they're technically better than a Frozen Lance with Conduit 3, so whatever. Crystallis is pretty good. Putting this at 65, this does what? What does this get to? 130? It doesn't really hit any important thresholds because it doesn't pierce. A plus 10 in piercing. This only gets to 90. 90 is not the important threshold. I'll take the plus 10 in piercing into Ancient Synergy, I guess. This is fine. It's front-loaded. It will kill a steel dude. Steel wings. Sure, this is fine to me. Now, is this plus 30 doing anything? Not really. I don't think I need this. It adds something, but it's so little value that I actually think having 1 or 2 fewer upgrades on Chased is maybe a little better. It maybe prevents me from taking some pyre damage here. So, we're fine. 120 out of 100. I can't spend any of my money. Yeah, alright, let's rock. I think this is clean victory with what I've got here. It's too bad I couldn't get the Endless, right? Yeah, like, Tethys, get in there, bud. Just Frozen Lance this. I could blow up this thing. Or take the Incant and do... I'm actually going to play this. Why are you free? Was that a... What did I do to make that 3? The hell? Oh, yeah, duh, Flicker's Liquor. I was confused because it was free on Tethys' floor. Ah, yeah, I understand. It was free on Tethys' floor, and I misunderstood the Flicker's Liquor interaction. I thought it was... I didn't recognize the jump. Fine. That makes this first wave very easy for me. Yeah, so this is where you get to see Flicker's Liquor value in action. You play Siren, which makes the other Siren free, which lets me play Molten Encasement, which immediately lets me play this Nexus Spike for humongous value, and just take a ton of incants. Because I played the Ancient Synergy into Darkwings here, this next floor is actually free, but I want to keep the Lightwings alive so it kills the Molten Encasement. So we will just actually chill on the Ice Tornado. Thanks being permafrosted, huh? Yeah, cool. Great news. Now this stealth doesn't do much on this combat. Truly, it does not. But that's okay. It's okay. It's totally fine. Alright, what got hit by that? Okay, so the Crystallis did. Okay. Basically deciding if I could play Titan's Tooth off floor or not, because this bottom wave with double heavies is potentially spooky. But yeah, it's the third time I've said it in this combat. In this run, rather. Oh. Huh. I didn't even recognize that. Well, whatever. We do 300 damage into Seraph here. That's fine. Sure. And actually, I'm going to freeze a dead weight so I don't draw it again. Cool. That'll be fine. I never overdraw with this. That does mean I take a lot, doesn't it? It's a shame. It wouldn't technically not have mattered, I suppose. Frozen Lance here. Ice Tornado, sure. We do take a lot of Ember Drain due to that. Now, fortunately, my spells are essentially free. But that is unfortunate, regardless. Resin Removal. Actually really good on bottom, huh? Can clear all of that lifesteal. It doesn't matter. I don't care about this Pyro Wings here. So we'll just take Incants where we can get them. I'm going to chill on the Resin Removal, just hold it for now. Yeah, that's a lot of Ember Drain, huh? Yep. Knew that would be a thing. Puff. Don't get my Devourer of Death. So now I'm actually tanking on armor, which is unfortunate. Very unfortunate. I didn't see... Yeah, taking a lot more from this fellow too, huh? Now, oh yeah, the next card was Preserve. Good job, bud. We take another round of big Ember Drain, huh? He's being annoying. If I freeze the Deadweight, that's pretty good. Yeah, sure. I now never draw a Deadweight again. This is the only turn I get to incant here. We have a lot of life. This is actually a really good reasoning for why the incant armor 2 is good, because Chaste bodies my stealth on this combat. I can't even keep it up, and we're just tanking on HP. And the other important thing is that Tethys is not dying thanks to this Vial of Tears that I took, basically. It's the only thing keeping her alive. This will be much harder here than on the Divinity. So it's interesting, because there's only one floor with Ember Pyre Wings on the Divinity. It doesn't always spawn, and we're not going to be getting our stuff purged, so... Also important to note, there's really nothing I need to resin removal here. And I have 4 cards and I'm drawing 6, so I go to 10. We're fine. That is 4 more Ember Drain. Very sad. Unfortunate, but the nice thing is my entire deck is free. So I take very little of this incoming damage. Let's see, with any luck I see my Molten Encasement next turn, but I'm gonna lose it again anyway, huh? It's a real shame. A little Wicklash in front. I don't get to play the Spell Chain to copy, and I think I'm just gonna send the Sacred Wicks at this point. I don't need this anymore. There were no emergencies here. I have 9 burnout on everything. It's fine. We're doing a lot of damage in the Seraph here, though, at least, which is good. Okay, I have the Preserve. I actually... Oh, right. Look at this. Plus 10, big value in this Ancient Synergy. I now no longer take Ember Drain. Ooh, that's good. Yeah, Resin Removal didn't do anything here, but it being frozen means it's free, and these are all fine. Cool. Oh no, I took 60 damage. I have like 500 HP on the floor. Finally, Devourer of Death enters the fray. Cool. Forgotten Name's done some work. How much damage is my stuff doing? 13? That's 7? That's okay. Not bad. Yeah, sure, bud. Some stealth will help. Yeah, we super win this combat, huh? Yeah, that is a big win, huh? Just blow everything up at this point. Titan's Tooth kills all the enemies. I can take resin removal value. Haha! No Ember Drain, no lifesteal, you fool! You never stood a chance. Play all my cards. What are we looking at? Like a 600... That's a 1200 damage floor, actually. Each one's doing 450-ish, so it's actually even better than that. 1350. It's a ton of damage. We super win this. 2 rounds? Yeah, great job. Cool. Cool. So I made the right choice at that last temple, is what that tells me. That means I took the piercing, which is just enough to put Ancient Synergy over the threshold where I can kill that 140 HP enemy thanks to some of the Forgotten Name procs. Really good, actually. That was a nice clutch pick. The plus 10, just enough. Now I think we pretty handedly dominate this. I play top. I don't even care if Tethys dies. It's actually good because she saves me Ember Drain. Hell yeah. Yeah, start the incants, huh? Cool. Oh, goodbye, Tethys. It's fine, you saved me the Ember Drain. Good job. Cool. Now, sadly, bad draws here. But again, fortunately... Flicker Slicker, doing work. Huh? Yeah, excellent job. I can take incant, and then I can play this Ancient Synergy and blow up bottom. I think we will scale to kill mid here. I'm not really worried. Sad about losing the Titan's Tooth, but it is fine. I will play this bottom. I think this is worthwhile. Cool. Vial of Tears showing its fangs once again. Cool. Play this. Still don't have Tethys, though, which is a little concerning. I can spread around this, though, which is good. Play this. Good, we clear the floor. Get some burnout on everyone. Let's see, they only incant on damage, so it's fine. I could preserve the dead weight here, so I never redraw it. That's a good line. Yeah, it's a good line. It's a good incant. It's strong. I'm putting 100 extra damage on the floor here. Now, Devourer of Death's going to do some work too, which I appreciate a lot. Finally, we get Tethys back on the field. Yeah, so we always take this mold. Cool. She has enough HP now to survive. We Devour first for the Ember Drain, then I'm going to Tethys. Next floor is going to test me is the real thing. Now, fortunately, I don't know how the Molten Encasement fares here. So this is an interesting one. Because this guy dies, it's going to set off a lot of harvests. Now, fortunately, it's only the Darkwing's harvest, but the question becomes, does his damage fire and kill the Redirector before or after this Arbor cascades? Because it's so bizarre how this works. I think that the correct choice here is to incant the hell out of this floor. But I'm going to save the Ice Tornadoes for this next wave because it's scarier to me. These Ice Tornadoes are an incant no matter when I play them, as long as I go to 4 cards remaining in my hand here, which I will do. Now, who gets this? Tethys, maybe? Need to keep her alive. I can just reform her. I don't really care. I'm going to put it into one of my Sirens. It's much bigger value. Yeah, cool. 4 cards in my hand. I draw 6. Great job. We should be in a good state here. Now, here's the real question. I am going to play that Encasement for sure. want to see what it does. Does this work the way I want? It does, actually. In this one rare instance, it does work the way I want it to. So, now, everything sort of changes because I'm playing resin removal to clear all this crap. I want to do better here. So I will Frozen Lance, and I'm going to play the Ice Tornadoes. Yeah, this cascades in an interesting way. Just incant the floor. I do take damage here. What am I drawing? I will always see Wicklashes, so let's play this Sacred Wicks for some damage. It's an extra 4 here. It's fine. Yeah, this is fine. I take 2 hits. No big deal. I think we scaled to the point of beating the mini-boss here, which is really important. It's always encasement. Let's see, 10. This does what? This is 52 and 10, 62. Yeah, so here's what we do. We do Titan's Tooth. Frozen Lance. I'm going to play Wicklash now into Tethys. And now we get 1 hit to pop the front, and we get an extra 1 into the back. Great news. We super power through this now. Spread our damage around, spread our burnout around. We get 200 overkill on the floor. Very good. This is what we like to see. Great news. Now, 15s. See, I'm leaking this 15 back here. I don't have enough hits on the floor. Haha, Devourer of Death has gotcha. And we just play 1,000,000 damage spells here. Oh, I should respect, potentially. I want to see resin removal. Okay, it's Preserve here on Titan's Tooth. I want to play that next turn. And I will save the Ice Tornado as well, because this is the last wave that really threatens me. I'm actually going to play the mold, though. I have no reason to hold that. Yeah, cool. Big damage, great news. Okay, show me resin removal. Okay, no resin removal. Now, how do I approach this? We're actually cleaning this up really well, so that's good. None, didn't see my Piercing Ancient Synergy either. It's probably the worst I could have seen. Let's play the cards before I play this Devourer of Death, because cascading the 15 armor may change this unfavorably. I don't mind the incants. These are better. It's plus 4, so it's plus 12 here. No, it's even better. It's plus 4 per incant, which is 8 per, so it's 24 damage in exchange for 10 armor. So I should play everything. There's no reason to hold back. Yeah, that even is enough. Cool. Where am I at? 7 and 8. I'll play it on front. I'll play it on back. Just take the incants. They are super worth it. I will Ice Tornado first. Multiple times. I actually killed a dude. Wow. And I will take the Titan's Tooth here because it now does 22 to everything. It's pretty close. It's only 55 overflow. I will play Molten Encasement on the bottom here. Interesting. If I play a middle, is that good? What am I drawing into? I could theoretically leak this Shade Wings, actually, which is concerning. What am I looking at? This is 360, 360, basically 360, so, geez, that's over 1,000 damage on the floor. Huh. What, 180 kills, 180, 180 kills, 180, 172 kills, 172, and then this 60 comes from Tethys into the Divinity. It gains, yeah, it takes 60 from Tethys, 10 from Frostbite, and then gains 15 armor from the Darkwings. So the question I'm really asking myself is, do I have enough hits to kill the Steel Slate and the Shade Wings? I don't want to leak 45 damage here if I can avoid it. Let's see, 360, 360. He has what? 780 HP here? I'm not even counting the fact that I'm doing, you know, whatever my spells that I'm drawing are. I'm super fine. Yeah, I'm going to play this on the bottom. Yeah, it's fine. Reason, I want to kill the Wilt Wings so they're not doing damage to my top floor. Yeah. Boop. Good job. Go team. Now, sadly, I do not see an answer for the Absolvers. Yeah, we're fine. Again, we hit enough times. Burnout goes into Tethys. Her damage is not super important. If she burns out in Relentless, I don't really care, actually. Yeah, Ancient Synergy, thank you very much. Start more of this. Thank you, Tomb Friend. I'll save the resin removal for my Relentless floor, potentially. Yeah. And I will put this into anyone with 11. Yeah, sure, why not? I'll take this incant. Great news. Boop, 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 boop. Great news. Taking curses, unfortunately. We super win this, though. Yeah, big X. Great job. Only Tethys size. Sad. Yeah, resin removal first, though. Hell yeah, brother. Oh, snap. Oh, that's kind of fun. Interesting cascade. Freeze something, sure. Yeah, so Tethys burns out. Don't really care. Her relentless damage doesn't matter that much. These sirens destroy. Cool. Very cool. Well done. Hooray, Draft Infusion, Tiny. Oh, she died in the last turn, huh? It's okay, she's worth 5 gold to me. I'll take it. That's score. I like score, or something. Maybe. Not really. Awesome. What a good run. Big fan. There's a lot to say here, but I would say this is an above-average roll. It's not the best I've seen, but I think there's a lot of ways you could have taken this to a victory, so... Score is really bad here. Wow. Ping. That's a yikes on the score. Oh well. It wasn't super clean. We took a lot of damage here and there, and Fel destroyed us. Let's hit the run summary. It is number 78 in the bag. I will take it. Alright. So, Tethys, like I said, there's two kind of solutions to her conduit runs. Either you use her as an energy relic for in-camp power-up, which is what I did here, or you use her to enable you to go really powerful on spells, and you just blow things up with spells, and then hopefully incant along the way. So, pretty cool. I think I was a little bit aggro, but I made some good decisions here I want to kind of draw attention to. So first, the relics that we saw in the beginning, pretty uncontrollably good. But I think there is a world where people would skip that first Divine Horde in this run. And I'm talking advanced players would skip that Divine Horde because you have Conduit Tethys and it's scary. I had 3 cards in my deck at that point that gave me some measure of confidence. One, it was, where is it? The Crystalline Seeds. Yeah, here it is. This card, a really good uncommon for the beginning of the game. It's free. It's an incant. Obviously doesn't matter right away, but it clears a whole floor. It also deals with 5 armor enemies, which is good, and will do 11 damage over 2 turns, which is enough to take on the Armor 10 trial. Very important. And it also, of course, gets to 15 damage over 3 turns. Yeah, 3 turns. And that's important because 15 is the number for an upgraded crossbowman with the armor trial. That's 5 HP with 10 extra armor. So Crystalline Seeds kind of has the perfect damage number for that. I mean, obviously you have to draw it on the right turn, but the fact that it even exists in your deck gives you a lot of extra confidence. And I can always just skip the armor trial, right? I don't need that unit that badly, probably, but I would still probably gamble on it, and it would be cool. But the fact that I had also these 2 Ice Tornadoes as the other 2 cards, big value. I can just save these. They're frozen, blow up a turn. No fear of a crossbowman from that, right? Absolutely no fear. Either it triple hits the front, which is the worst case, and I have a frozen lance, which then kills it, or my units then kill it, or it hits the crossbowman on its own. Great news. We didn't even roll the crossbowman. It ended up being an upgraded priest anyway, but who cares? It's fine. We had the answers for it. So I think that was a correct decision, and they showed me Founding Seal. It's not great in Ring 1 because I had no incants, but it's so good as long as they show me anything else. And then taking the Paraffin Enforcer opened up a lot of lines. I could have gone so many directions with that run from that position. I think there were at least 3 winning lines I could envision there. And I think that's really important. You just have a bunch of lines that can get you to win. So you, depending on what you see, you make a decision and you go from there. Seeing the Minor Refraction on Siren meant, okay, I already have the Endless Tomb. Minor Refraction means I no longer care about Steel Shops. Good. And you should always look at a Minor Refraction on a 2-space unit as essentially a multi-strike. It essentially works out to, okay, this thing is now able to hit twice, quote-unquote, because you just copy it for the same amount of space, and you essentially double the trigger value, right? So instead of getting in camp +2/+2, I'm now getting in camp +4/+4 because there's 2 triggers on the floor. It's better than multi-strike. This is one of the great substitutes for multi-strike that exists. Make them smaller by some means. There's a couple ways of doing it, but this is the most obvious. From that point, the run made a lot of sense to me. It was, okay, I have reforms and I have Wicklashes in my starting deck, so let's put Draft on it and go crazy. This was also super enabled by Combustible Wax start. Big fan. This duo of Combustible Wax Founding Seal, it gives you so many lines to victory. I think you could replay the seed in like 6 different ways and still get a win. So yeah, cool. We ended up missing the holdovers in the last 2 steel shops. Didn't really matter. The spell chain was enough. Wicklash was good. The Nexus spike essentially boiled down to a spell chained Wicklash, more or less. It's just fine. Except it was a spell chained Wicklash, except I didn't have to dupe it. So, and I guess it only incants you once, so it's kind of close, but not quite the same. It's still good. All the other cards I think I took were really important. Just dupe this thing a bunch. The Preserve mattered. I think holding cards for the right turn matters. It's a free incant anyway. Great in this particular deck. Sacred Wicks, I never ended up needing to use this. But the Frozen was insurance. I think it mattered. There were draw orders where this would matter. We didn't see them, fortunately. But this could have saved the run. And this is me hedging against the worst case. The case where I completely botch, bottom deck my Molten Encasement, everything dies, and I have to reform Tethys and a Siren in one turn in order to avoid death. And this wins you the game from that point. Beyond that, Resin Removal did a lot of work on this combat, saved me a bunch of damage on the Divinity. I still ended up taking, 24 from that one dude that leaked. He hit me twice. It was the only enemy that leaked, but yeah, worthwhile to note that he did walk by me, so while I was ramping. Wicklashes are incredible. Taking the Crystal is just good spells. Nexus Spike, incredible. The +10 piercing on Ancient's Energy, super mattered. On the Divinity it didn't, because I had Resin Removal on the right turns, but on the, what was the combat? The Pyre Wings on Ring 8 with Seraph. That saved me 4 Ember Drain. Let me play my Tomb on a turn that mattered. So, now we would have been fine because we did end up drawing the Preserve with the Tomb on that turn, but regardless, this was really important. And this is a case where I already had enough shards to go to the Divinity, and it was just a question of, okay, if I get a couple more upgraded elites in Seraph, how much does that scare me versus how much does the extra value from the shards give me? And I made the decision for the piercing on the 10 damage and piercing on Ancient Synergy and against the +30. And truly, the +30 would not have changed anything about this run at all. It would have done nothing. I mean, it would have been essentially the same as the +15 here because it would have killed that Pyre Wings. And I would have been like, hey, look, some spell damage mattered, but the +10 was enough. And yeah, that balance is important. And I can understand players being scared of taking shards, but especially on Ring 8, the only combat that benefits from shards, there's 2 of them. One, extra damage on the Divinity's attacks. Sometimes that matters. In this case, oh no, Tethys died. Just reform her. She's fine. It's cool. It was whatever. She actually saved me Ember Drain because she died, so it was beneficial. But, so some runs you don't care about the Divinity's damage. Some runs you do. Some runs you super do. So you always balance that. Divinity did 11 on sweep. Cool. Once I hit Tomb, didn't matter. It did kill Tethys. Okay, but we incanted out of that range, no problem on the Sirens, which is what mattered. So it was fine. The extra 10 did not change anything here. But it provided enough value, and that was fine. And the other thing that makes it a little more difficult is you see typically one more elite upgrade in response to taking a +10 over 100 on Seraph. And it's who knows what that could be. That could be a heavy, it depends on so many factors, the RNG, the algorithm. You're just net, you're going to see one more. And in that case, it was just totally fine to see the one more. I didn't mind it at all. And this paid off. It provided enough value, saved me 4 Ember Drain, and I played my Tomb, got 2 extra stealth, which mattered. So, cool. Go team. Titan's Tooth, another good pick. Just a really solid card to grab with Conduit in general. The fact that it does 5 damage means it benefits. And with only a plus 10, it's doing 25 to a floor, which is a great number. So there's a lot of good things to be said about the relics here. I think the only other thing I really want to call attention to on this from relic perspective is Forgotten Name. It earned its keep here. That bonus damage mattered. I was playing it enough. It was like 8 bonus damage over the course of a combat. Cool. Why not? It's fine. And then the Malika event. I think it can be really tempting in this run to take the Malika event there. Specifically, the Broken Wheel. Broken Wheel represents 4 free removals, which is huge value. I could have then removed 4 bad cards. That would have essentially resulted in me having no Frozen Lances left. These 2 would be gone. I would never have taken a 20 and consumed, so these 3 would be gone, and I'd be, what, one primitive mold shorter too. We would be very consistent. Our deck would be 4 cards smaller. But there is a draw order that kills you, and it wasn't worth the risk. I looked at that run at that stage and said, I win from this point. I don't need to change anything. I just need to stay the course, pick good cards, and win. It doesn't have to be glamorous. This win is terrible. Look at this, 43k. This is an awful score. I leaked so much everywhere, and all the combats that mattered. Fell did 34 damage to me. The Divinity did 24. Yeah, those are some scary damage numbers, right? But we had the Pyre health, and that's what it's there for. You just kind of acknowledge you're going to take some damage here and there, and it's cool. The only HP that matters is the last one. So I think making that decision, not taking the gamble, and just accepting it, cool. I'm good with that. That's excellent. I think that was a good choice. Vial of Tears did, I think, represent 11 damage in... which combat was it? One of these Hidden Assault hits. I took 11. And that's because Tethys didn't swing into an enemy. And Tethys swinging was equivalent to 1 Pyre hit, basically. So I took 11 damage for the Vial of Tears. But I made sure to call attention in the later combats to every turn where Vial of Tears ended up mattering. And I think we would have won without it, but it made things a little comfortable. Tethys actually didn't have to get reformed a second time on the Divinity because of Vial of Tears. So, yeah, cool. And that's truly all I have to say. Everything else, just buy relics that are good, take whatever the things that are best are, fine. Memorial Fund also did great work here, so yeah, a lot of good stuff. I'm really a big fan of this run. It's a good Tethys gaming run, a little bit above average. We keep our streak alive. And yeah, cool. That's all I've got to tell you. So, hey, thanks a lot for watching this. I really appreciate your time. As always, give the video a like or a dislike if you want. You can subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. And stay tuned for what's next. Take care, folks.